Very good day, everybody. Welcome to another video. I'm your personal funky sim pilot. My name is Arkady Gidzenko and I will be your captain for today's flight. Today's flight will take us with the PMDG 737-600 from Canada to the United States of America. We'll be flying from Calgary to Seattle Tacoma International Airport. The total time will be about 1 hour 50 minutes. Flight time is probably going to be 1 hour 30 minutes, something like that. A little bit shorter. We're using real-world time, real-world weather, GSX, and the Airsoft Simple Traffic tool. For delivery, we're using the WestJet livery. We used this on the channel the other day as well, but I think it was on the 737-700. And look, there's already some ice built up. Been standing here for like, I don't know, maybe 25 minutes. And we got some icing here for sure. So curious how to see how that's going to develop. Some icing here on the nose cone. Windows still seem okay, although these actually, no, they definitely displaying some ice as well. That's just really cool. So we got two mics, it looks like again. Unfortunately, we cannot see mic from the inside. I don't think, I'm not really sure if that's actually possible, if that's something you can set. Sometimes you can with these add-ons. But I haven't seen such a thing here. But yeah, so there's definitely some ice here on the leading edges of the wings. And this is an interesting thing. Let's go inside. I'm not sure if this is only an Airbus or, but I know there should be like a marking at some windows for the pilots so that they can go immediately to the correct aisle and then disturb those people there to have a proper look at the wing leading edge. And I've seen in the Airbus there's this little, like on the panel here, there's this little, very subtle little marking, so that the pilots don't have to, you know, reinvent the wheel every time. So they don't have to disturb the passengers once, rather than disturb them at the wrong row. Oh, that's not good for you. Sorry, may I disturb you? You know, which makes sense. But I do not see that here actually. But yeah, there's definitely some ice. And let's check the tail. Tail is looking fairly okay. Got some weird looking markings here. Almost thinking that's not ice. But what would it be? Looks a little bit funny. Okay, so this is definitely a little bit glitchy, I guess. Look at that. So that explains what we're seeing here. So there is actually ice on the leading edge here. It is simply displaced. I've never seen that before in a flight simulator. Look at that. Well, that would make perfect sense. See? Alright, that's a bit weird. The jetways are connected. And morphed to the ground, with the ground a little bit. Looks like our door is not open. That's a shame. Right, let's get inside. It's looking really cool. Okay. Batteries. So departure weather, wind 1507 knots, visibility 1/4, what is this, 1/4 statute miles, or snow, few clouds at 1000 feet, temperature -4. I believe our gate was 37. Looks like it stopped responding like it did the other day. Like the entire cockpit stops responding, so I can look around, I can zoom in and out. I can go outside view if I want. Rudders don't seem to work, flight controls don't seem to work. That's interesting. I'm not sure what we can do. Nothing seems to respond. Restarted already. I just got my guitar, man. we have the route in here still. So I have to set up some things again. Ground operations, we prefer the jetway. Let's request the jetway. Let's request ground power. And then we can turn on the aircraft. So it's weird. This is not something that usually happens to me actually, but it did the other day. And it did just now as well. So requesting the data. Shame because actually I liked the fact that we had these the ice build-up. But we can still get it. Right, so the warning for the draining batteries. So we got ground power now. We can turn on the logo lights and the anti-collision lights. That's it. It did want to. It sort of gave a hiccup after pressing that button there, and then it sort of went through. So I wonder if that might be the trigger. Sometimes the simulator locks up. All right, so let's load it. Right, let's check out departure and arrival. We got 1407 knots. Temperature -4. Now for the OFP. Cost index 13. Cruising flight level 400. Average wind component, our average wind will be 261.017. Block fuel 5.8, 5.9. Final reserves 2.1. So we don't have a departure, but we do have a runway 11. Then we have the Glacier 3 arrival for runway 16 right. So runway 11, runway 11. I think runway 11. CYYC, do we have that? Nope, we don't. Execute. And we go back index, and then for Seattle 16 right, I believe it was, for the Glacier 3. Glacier 3. So 16 right, Glacier 3. Transition, perhaps. Gag. Execute. So now we have a full flight plan in here. So 5.9 on the planned fuel. Reserves, it was 2.1. That would be okay. Cost index, I forgot. 23, flight level 400, 261. 261017. 261017. Alright, execute, so the N1 limit. Let's get GSX going.
Boarding requested.
So I'm seeing vehicles now. And that's cool. And there's some ice buildup already. That's pretty quick. So for the performance tool, runway 11.
Do you want to board crew? Pilot's boarding starting.
So select the temperature 43, takeoff 2. Gives us 85, and here it should give you 84.3.
Crew boarding starting.
Seven niner. So yeah, when you're doing real world weather, this is what you get. You get the actual weather conditions, or at least, you know, as closely to the actual conditions as Microsoft Flight Simulator can be. So it looks like we set all of this up now.
Your crew has boarded.
Well, here come the passengers.
Passengers boarding starting.
And the IRS should take about 1 more minute to align.
Hello. Hello.
Start up the APO. Open the fuel pumps.
Hello.
So we got 5.8 thousand kilograms of fuel on board.
Hello.
The IRS on light. The old damper goes on as well. Current altitude is quite high, 3,560, 3,570. So we'll just dial in 356. We'll have a good look again. 3560, 3550. Let's forget it. That's okay. Look at the eyebrow windows now. I like them. So the APU is running. Let's turn on the APU bleed. So basically, we're after takeoff, we get a direct to the just to the first waypoint. There is no departure or anything. So we go straight to DUMRA. That's the one sitting right there for departing runway 11. Come on. That will be this one. And where are we? We're parked over here, so we'll get this way, find our way to runway 11. So then after departure should be a right turn to heading of 184. So we could maybe set 184 in the box.
Good afternoon. Welcome on board. This way, please. May I see your boarding pass? Hello. May I see your boarding pass? Hello. Welcome on board. Welcome on board. Hello. Welcome on board. This way, please. Boarding pass, please. This way, please. Hello.
It's so funny that this door in the back here is always open, but it's not being used actually. So let's get to the doors page, door management. Entry to left, close. So I'm not sure about the windows. There might actually be some de-icing later on, maybe, could be. But these windows look like they're humid. And we do have a very advanced bleed system. Turn on the electricity, the hydraulic pumps. Window heat, that's probably going to solve our problems. Well, we'll turn these on anyway. That's probably going to get rid of the foggy windows. Okay, so boarding is completed. So for taxiing, let's have a look to runway 11. So either we'll come from Juliet, and that would be Juliet Alpha. So maybe we just cross runway 17 right. What we'll do, we push back nose to the left, get onto Golf, Juliet, cross 17 right, Alpha, or Juliet, this is Alpha. We'll keep on Juliet, like that. It always looks a lot bigger than it really is, to me anyway. Maybe says something about my card reading skills. So push back nose to the left. You request the icing treatment? Yes, let's do that.
Vehicles are coming now.
So we're going to de-ice first. So shall we close our door there? Before the shit hits the fan. So there come the de-icing vehicles.
moment now and observe fluid type 1. Concentration at 75%. We'll call you back when ready.
I don't know if it's just me, but I think it's funny that there's icing conditions and then the very guy who comes to de-ice the aircraft is actually wearing short sleeves. Am I the only one seeing that like that? I mean, isn't this supposed to be like really freezing cold? Why is he not wearing like a turtleneck with long sleeves or something, you know? I don't understand. But it's funny. Maybe he's just like heating it up inside there, like really nicely, you know? It's pretty cool to see, man. And pretty loud to hear.
De-icing and anti-icing completed. Anti-icing code is fluid type 1. Concentration at 75%. I'm disconnecting. Good day.
Cool. Good day, sir. So did we disconnect the ground power unit? I don't think I did. Ground connections released.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
Switch over to the APU generators. Forgot about that. So that's why we're so quiet a little bit.
We are ready for pushback.
So are we. We want our nose to the left.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Totally neglected the squawk. Basically this entire panel.
Locking gear.
So trim will be 5.4. Oh, have to remove the chocks.
Please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
Roger. So the aircraft looks like it has a cold nose. Look at that. Poor thing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Flight 812 to Seattle Tacoma International Airport. This is your captain speaking. We are currently pushing back and to get ready to taxi to the departure runway. We're just waiting for the engine start a little bit until we are in position. It's due to lighting conditions. This is just a precautionary measure. There's nothing to be worried about. Please remain with your seatbelts fastened until the sign has come off. And thank you very much for flying. Alright, so you think they bought that?
Please set parking brakes.
So let's start the engines. Oh, starting engine number 1. Meant to do 2, misclicked. Looks like both of them are starting. That's interesting. I think actually both engines are starting, man. Let's change the camera speed a little bit. So there's no EGT. So something is not okay. So let's abort this immediately. Then 2 going down. There was no EGT. Right, so engine number 2. And 2 starts to rise. Actually do the fuel cut off on engine number 1 for now. And now we get the EGT. So that's good. Engine number 1. Fuel. I do not have the passengers inside. So it's 2 Ironic engines, let's confirm it.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You
So
can
brakes to
disconnect.
RTL.
Unlocking gear.
Flap 1. Trim 5.43. Something like that. FMC lights on. Tank verified takeoff speeds. So let's go back to the inner draft page and 1 limit takeoff. 127 V1. Rotate 127 V2 130. So after departure we'll take a right turn.
Disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Gunner does not want to engage. That's sort of to be expected. So let's switch over to the main generators. Turn off the APU. APU bleed goes off as well. Let's turn on the packs for taxi. So that guy just waved at us. We totally snubbed him. I'm sorry, Jones. I'm not really sure what his name was. Jones, Johannes, Jonas. I think it was Jonas. Thank you, Jonas. I'm sorry for snubbing you. I didn't mean to. So what's this saying? The flaps, green light, stabilizer trim unit. So we set it trim. And we have flaps 1 indicating 1 green light, and the lever is in the flap 1 position as well. So before we release our taxi brakes and turn on the lights, we will basically go straight. So following this line is basically straight. And that will join up with Juliet, where we'll take a right turn until we cross the runway 17 right. So we just keep on going Juliet until we get to runway 11. So runway turn off lights, taxi lights, parking brake released, and let's get ourselves to Seattle. So we're on Golf, and then Juliet to the right, so I think this is the point where we hook up, join up with Juliet. So we should now be on Juliet, and then we cross runway 17 right. ground speed is now 24 knots. You can see in the top left of the navigational display. And then we cross taxiway Alpha. This is Kilo Juliet. Oh, we already crossed it. Okay. Holding point runway 11, let's just line ourselves up. Turn on the auto thrust. And the T-gas. So LNAV doesn't want to engage yet, so we'll go heading select. Alright, so timer set. Let's get going.
Airspeed's alive. Knots. Rotate V2. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. So performing a right turn to heading 184. So we go more of a pitch down now. The aircraft will start to accelerate. Also retract from these flaps. I'm going to turn on the autopilot, so we got CMD on. Let's see if we can get LNAV, and there we have it, LNAV. So that's as simple as that. So let's lock the gear, auto brake 2 off, the flaps are up and there is no green light. After takeoff, engine bleeds on, and we forgot to turn off the packs for takeoff. So the packs are still on, engine bleeds are on. Landing gear up and off, so we turn the landing gear off as well. And flaps up, no lights. So after takeoff checklist complete, and then we have a few things that are not on the reminders, such as the auto brake, and we can also turn off the runway turn-off lights, taxi lights. I'm thinking probably wouldn't be a bad idea to turn on some anti-ice anyway, right? You will hear the engines respond to it a little bit always, but it's not too bad. 10,000 feet, let's turn off the landing lights. And let's set the passengers free. CMD on N1 LNAV VNAV speed. And we're slowly climbing, so let's increase the range on the nav display now. So up next will be DUMRA in 17.5 miles. The top of climb in about, let's say 90 miles or so. And I think that it will be the top of descent. It's not a very long flight. So. The leading edges have cleaned up nicely of the wings. There's no more ice. So in about 14 minutes, and we'll be at cruising altitude. So now standing by for flight level 180, so that we can switch from local pressure to standard pressure on the altimeters. So the top of descent is already in here, that's always nice, 312 nautical miles. Request a forecast for the descent winds. Passing transition altitude, standard altimeter on both sides, N1 LNAV VNAV speed, CMD, our speed is 288 knots, we're climbing through 19,500 feet, an angle of 2,700 feet per minute. There's some beautiful mountains there to the right of us. So I'll leave it at this window for a little bit, I'll be right back. Well, outside looking very nice. See what's going on up here. So 306,000 feet. Speed at climb speed still. The climb 288 is our target speed. So the engines are in climb mode, if you will. The top of climb is almost there. I think it's probably safe to turn off the anti-ice, the wing anti-ice and the engine anti-ice. And there's the top of descent, so it's not a very long flight at all. Here we go. Alright, let's have a look at our flight plan. Legs, Twiggy, Gag, Temple, Witro, Odal, Glasser, Jackson, Woody, Heather, vectors, and then we get vectors after header. And then we get Bugni, Finca, the final approach. So let's have a look at that. So we get the Glasser 3 arrival for runway 16 right. So we have the arrival here, but we do not have the runway approach. So approach 16 right, and we'll take the category 1. Witro becoming, let's see, at least we'll be coming via Temple, Witro, Odal, Glasser, then Woody and Heather, and then you'll get, from Heather, you will get vectors. So Heather is to the right of the airport. So if we now look at the final approach chart, we cannot really see where Heather is. The next waypoint after Heather would be Bugny. So Heather, then they vector us, then Bugny, Finca, so then you can sort of continue your approach from Bugny. So we could see if we can connect them. That will give us like 4 miles, maybe to turn, so we could maybe see if we can go via Zikro, but it might require us to fly back a little bit, so I do not want to do that. Let's have a look. The altitude at Heather is 5,000, so maybe to again at 5,000. So now let's have a look then at the navigational display. Plan. Glasser, Jackson, Woody, Heather, and then vectoring that direction 250. So from Heather to Bogny would be a little bit weird. Maybe it's doable. You know, I don't know how they will vector you real life. Like maybe they make you fly over and then do a turn or something. So we'd be better off flying from Glasgow to Painviewer instead of going Woody at Heather. So what if we just mess this all up? Let's enter Pain. What was the VOR? Papa Alpha Echo. One 106. Go from Glasgow to Jackson. So instead of then going to Woody, after Jackson we'll go straight. That's a little line there. Let's have a look. Can we zoom out a little bit more and still have something to look at? Let's try that. But then we'll have to delete the other waypoints. We'll have to delete Woody. So let's delete Woody, and we also delete Heather. That's an invalid delete. It's invalid. To paint VOR and then to Heather, that's not going to work out at all. That's just totally weird. Let's first enter it, and we can always break it later. So, delete Heather, maybe we can do it now. It's invalid. Okay. That is not very nice, so what we'll do then, go to the just enter Woody again. And we delete the Pain VOR and we put Heather there, and then nothing has changed. So then after Woody, let's zoom in and you'll see what I'm talking about. Should make more sense. So Woody will take you to Heather. And then, yeah, so basically so we'll not be using these waypoints. Let's set a range link. It's definitely going to help this planning currently. So we'll create a configs. Flight slope starts at 6.1 DME at Finca. So 164. And 344. So 344 degrees and then 6.1 nautical miles. we can see that we're basically flying, so we definitely need, I don't want header in there at all, man. Fuck header. I don't like header. Whoever, what is one header ever done for us? Okay, that's maybe very, I'm just kidding, people, come on. Don't get your crows in an uproar. Yeah, so, I don't like this. I don't like how it looks. At all. So then I would prefer maybe after, well, we could still, let's just factor ourselves, man. But maybe we do it at Jackson. Jackson 12,000 feet, so that's still quite high. Airport elevation is 432 and 415 for the touchdown zone. Can we delete vector? That's invalid as well. But we can overwrite it. And maybe after doing that we can get it up for a header. Copy Bhakti onto vectors and delete header. But it's nice, we can try it like this. If it doesn't work, we don't have to execute. Oh, that's the wrong one. Unfortunately, it says invalid delete. And delete header. That looks like it could work. And then we also delete Woody. Come on, please, man. And we could have left space there for the viewers. After Jackson is taking us to Bugny now, which is already a little bit better. Let's enter it for now. And then Papa Alpha Echo. We'll actually put that onto Bugny, so it will insert between Jackson and Bugny. Execute. So now we made it like this. That's a lot better for me, so we'll do that. So after Jackson we'll go straight to Papa Alpha Echo. It wants us to be there at 7,000 feet, so it's just doing the calculations for us. Then Bugny 3200, Finca 1900. 1900 feet is where the glide slope will start. So what we'll also do now, 1900, we'll put this in the window, because we're not descending yet. You can just do it because we're already at cruising. $19. Oh, let's set everything up as well. Localizer 110.75. 110.75. 110.75. And the final approach course 164 degrees. Radio altitude 176. One 11075, 164 degrees. We can also put in the VRAF speed now. Flat 40, 124 plus 5 is 129. I think my controller would like some new batteries, so let's do that. Yeah, so this is going to work out great for us. I'm saying this, let me check the terrain. Oh, this should not be a problem at all. Okay, so on our way to GAG in 29 miles. And then shortly after Temple will be our top of descent. It will be at 22:55, 104 nautical miles. Oops. So that's in about 13 minutes. So the descent checklist, pressurization, landing altitude, recall, auto brake, landing data feed of minimum approach briefing. So the approach briefing we pretty much had. The glide slope will start at 1900 feet. Z-Crow is 7000. Pain VOR 7000. Check our legs page. I'm thinking that's okay. The Buckney 3200. Then maybe after this flight, maybe I'll plan another long haul flight. Oh, goodbye. So we're now overflying CAG, here it is, and now on our way to Temple, which is also where the top of descent will be. So for the top of descent we don't have to do anything really in terms of altitude management, we already done that. There's 19 knots in the window there. So the aircraft will start descending on its own, but we'll monitor the speed. And we'll have to set the lights and the seatbelt signs and all that. Right, to get a little bit funky and bluesy. Okay, so what we're looking at, holding at flight level 400, on the way to Temple, 42.8 miles, 45 miles, 44 miles is the top of the set, so that's a little bit after Temple. We do have a bit of headwind. I think it's okay. We don't have to descend early in any case. And let's get the weather check. Well, actually, this is the check, and we get the wet. You know what I mean. So, 200 degrees, 8 knots, visibility 10 statute miles, broken at 3,200, broken clouds at 20,000 feet, 12 degrees, altimeter 3006. So let's take 3006 and dial it in for later use, 3006. That's in. So there's the airport. We get Temple, Withrow, Odaw, Glasser, Jackson, and then we go all the way up to Payne VOR, and then we'll take a left turn there. I'm sure when you do it when there's ATC, they will vector you and give you some direct waypoints and all of that, and it will still be efficient. But to do that ourselves, the way they had it originally, well, it's not really planned, what is planned is that after header, basically, you'll be sent to that direction, and you will get some vectors. So probably they just vector you like north around, and then you can fly the entire approach. I just didn't feel like dealing with that, so we're just going to fly straight to the Paine VOR. That will allow us to properly align for the runway. So 11 more miles. I'll quickly be running into the galley to get a fresh iced tea. I'll be right back. So earlier today I had 2 meatballs and they were salty as hell, man. So I've been drinking like crazy. So the top of descent, what is it? It's here. It's starting to descend now. Come on, do it. PNF path, so that should start momentarily. There you go. RMP empty, and there's our nose down. Alright, so let's go to Seattle. So 2322 Zulu will be our arrival. It's in about 30 minutes. Alright, so we're descending, so let's get the descent checklist up. And let's start with the weather update. So 2153 Zulu, that's the latest one. So QNH 3006. So we got the QNH. Right, so let's have a look at the checklist then. So pressurization, landing altitude, so we have we set that to 400 feet. The touchdown zone is 411 and the airport itself is like 434 or whatever it was. 432 and 415, not 411. So we set this to 400 feet. Recall, let's check it. Flight controls, why is it doing that? Flaps fell up. I don't know, why is it saying flight controls? I don't know why it says flight controls. But it's been checked. Auto brake. We'll set this to 1. Landing data VREF minimums. We should have this all now. We have our reference speed 124 plus 5 is 129 knots with flaps 40. We have 110.75 for the ILS and the approach course 164. You can double check it here. 110.75, 164 for the final approach course. And that's exactly what it's saying there. We're a little bit low, that's good. Alright, so what else? And we do also have our minimums there, 176. We can cross check that as well, and that's correct too. And the approach briefing, we've done that, so that's completed as well, so we can wait for the approach basically. So at 18,000 feet we will switch to standard pressure, but we're now at 30,000. Just slowly descending. Here we go, look at the beautiful mountains there. So let's go to Seattle. Let's go have ourselves some fun there. Always like flying to Seattle, it's a really cool airport. Just these 3 runways next to each other and just a whole bunch of wind coming from the sea. And then right before you touch down there is another airport to the left, which is really cool. That's the Boeing field. So I'm not sure why why it says flight controls there. If you ask me, checked everything. We do not need flaps now. We check with speed brakes out, speed brakes in. So no clue. But it's fine. It's not inhibiting anything or anything, you know. Right, so we changed the approach a little bit. So hopefully this is going to work out well for us. We're a little bit below our descent profile, not too much. So there's nothing to worry. We're like 53 feet below it. And let's address the passengers. We'll look at the progress page 2322. Let's turn on the passengers the seatbelt sign. Let's see if there's a weather update. Maybe this was issued 2153. It's still the latest weather, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We have started our descent to Seattle Tacoma International Airport. Please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. We are expecting to arrive at Seattle Airport in about 20 minutes from now. The local temperature will be a little bit chilly, 12 degrees. There will be some clouds, so it's not the best beautiful looking days, but nonetheless it will be welcoming you and us. So on behalf of WestJet and the entire crew, thank you for flying. Alright, so we got that little bit out of the way as well. So at 18,000 feet we'll switch over the altimeters. And it looks like we're going to have to use this weather. 2153 was the latest update, so that's like over an hour ago. So I'm not expecting any new updates for Seattle. There actually is, look, there is one. 2253, okay. So it came rather late, so 1 hour late. So we have 12 degrees scattered at 4,100, scattered at 20,000 feet, altimeter 3005, so let's quickly correct that. We had 3006. That's still 6. There you go, 3005. So we're good on our descent path. That's nice. We won't be coming in too fast or something. So So these passengers must have a really nice view flying to Seattle out of Calgary. Look at that. I mean, I can imagine people just paying a ticket for the flight, you know? Not even like to actually be in Seattle, but to just enjoy sitting in an airplane and having a view like this. I don't like that side on this one. Let's get our asses back onto the flight deck. So speed 250 knots. Go legs page, Glasser 265. We do have a bit of a headwind.
Traffic.
Where is that rogue aircraft? On a collision course at 500 feet below us, I think. 600. Oh, there they are. Oh, that's pretty cool. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Please refrain from using the lavatories for about 1 minute, thank you. I don't know, you know, what if it drops down onto that plane, you know? It's going to look embarrassing. 19,600 feet, zoom back out. So 18,500. So let's switch over to standard pressure, or not from standard to local pressure. 3005 inch, and this puts us a little bit above the descent profile, but not for long. So 17,000 feet, we're going for a Jackson. At 12,000 feet, that's 19 miles. Yeah, so some clouds were predicted in the weather. $15,000. Scatter 20,000 feet and 4,100 feet. Okay, so what are we doing? Here is the center line. Speed 257. Should be 250, 12,000 feet. turn on the APU. The seatbelt signs are on. So the winds are, let's see, if there's no wind information. Am I seeing this incorrectly now? So it was issued on the 29th at 22:53 Zulu. Not sure what COR means. Oh, there you go. 2007 knots. Alright, so 7 knots, that's not too bad. But still nicely on profile here. Love this livery as well, and this small little airplane. And it might be a small little plane, but it flies like a 737, you know? So very conveniently, nice system. Just when taxiing, it tends to be a little bit sluggish, almost as if it's like a really heavy plane, whereas in fact actually it's not quite a heavy plane, it's rather light. Or at least compared to the 737-700 that we usually fly on the channel. Alright, so 1 hour 5 minutes into the flight, 11,600 feet, our speed is okay. On our way now to the Paine VOR. It wants us to be there at 7,137 feet and a speed of 240 knots. So we're getting close to 240. And we're perfectly on profile, so for now we're doing good. I'm standing by to turn on the landing lights. It's always nice when you can peek through these patches of clouds and see something below all of a sudden, you know. And for like one instance, you're seeing mountains, and then you're seeing the top of the clouds, and then all of a sudden you look through the clouds and you see like green patches of land and water and forest. I don't know, man, I guess it's just the poet in me. That could sound really dirty. Alright, 10,200, so let's turn on the landing lights. APU is available. 10,000 feet, speed 244. And then basically it will be a drop to 3,200 feet. You can see in magenta here 129 knots. So that's the ref speed. So the ref speed is 124 plus the wind correction, which you can see in the draft page. We set flaps 40, and it gives you speed 124 knots plus wind correction 5. So it gives you the clean speed here, basically, if you will, if you want to call it that. But in the CDU, the FMC is showing you the actual speed with wind correction as well. So 129 knots. So that will be our speed. And as soon as we start making the turn, I guess we can already turn on the localizers. That will be perfectly fine. just get ourselves nice and aligned, you know. Descent's going nicely. So we're about to turn the airport, basically, the final approach on. Let's turn on the non-return of lights and the taxi lights. Let's see. Let's wait a little bit with arming the speed brake. Let's check our descent list. So, or the approach list, altimeters. We've set the altimeters. The engine start switches to continuously light, and they should be there, both of them. Speed brake armed, landing gear down, flaps, green light. So we do need to arm the speed brakes, but we might need them for the, basically for the drop from Payne to Bugny. That's about 4,000 feet to need to lose. And we'll also need to lose speed from 240 to 183, so that's going to be quite interesting. So I'm not sure if the aircraft's going to do that without us assisting with the speed brake. So let's not arm it yet. Just wait with that until the very last moment that we do no longer need it. Alright, so we're turning. Let's turn on the localizer. Oh, we're still out of range. Alright. Actually, that's DME. So maybe... No, it doesn't want to yet. That's a shame. That's alright, we're still following navigation perfectly fine. Zoom in a little bit more. So here's the 15-mile ring. We don't have to do anything there. And then that's the second ring is where the glide slope will start. This is what I mean sometimes, is like here at Bugny it says 3,200 or above. I would appreciate if the aircraft would actually like stop at 3,200 and not figure like, oh well, 38 kilometers is also above, you know. So yeah, I think usually it does, but sometimes like doing some other step descents earlier, sometimes it may not. And then you get into trouble later. So I always prefer to do, to change that as soon as possible. Right, 5,500 feet. We're at local pressure. Speed 240, on our way to Bugny, 10 miles. Let's see if there's by any chance any new weather, but a very small chance of course. So 2007 miles. So it'll be slightly from the right. We may have to turn on the anti-ice, let's do that. Range 17.5 miles. See, can we arm the localizer now? Yes, we can. Localizers armed. You see you're flying through clouds, and this sort of gets a little bit brighter than usual. Really interesting. So there's the city, there's our runway, and there's the Boeing field. I think that's there. So 16 right should be our runway. We are below the glide slope. Our final approach speed might be a little bit high now. I mean, look at this, 240 knots. So, speed brake. Let's not leave it to fate. Let's arm the approach. We're still 12 miles out. Let's get the speed brake back in. The aircraft is decelerating on its own as well, or at least trying to. But since we're still in a sort of a nose down position, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Here we are. Captured localizer and sort of on the glide slope. That looks funny. Glide slope capture, very good. Let's drop the gear. We'll definitely need some speed brakes. Cabin crew, take your seats for landing. We're doing this though. Here's the Boeing field. Our speed is really pretty fast still. Let's see if we can go full flaps. If maybe the aircraft will start to complain. Go 129. What's this saying? Speed brake extended. Yes, I know. Right, speed brake retracted and now armed. Right, so standing by for turning off the autopilot. Autopilot disengaged. We're trying to stay on the glide slope here. So Seattle, are you ready for us? Here we are.
Glide slope, glide slope, glide slope, glide slopes.
I'm not sure where the glide slope wants us to set her down, but I'm setting her down now.
30.
I don't.
20. 10.
Where? Oh, that's actually overflaring. Set her down again. And here we are. Reverse us out. Welcome to Seattle. take this exit here. So a little bit toe braking was involved there. Just so we could take this high-speed exit. So we have 2 runways to cross. I'm not sure if we're doing this okay. Yeah, we are. So maybe later tonight we'll be back and we'll do some long haul sleeping session. So this is Seattle. It's not as windy as usual. Seattle tends to be quite windy. Now, do we actually have a line here? Looks like it, but it seems that A380 shouldn't be there, right? But I'm sure we can all get along. We're almost there. And there, that's right on the mark. Alright, so thank you very much for flying, everybody. Welcome to Seattle. Here you sit, welcome because with open arms and legs. Or maybe I should just say with open arms. Where is our airplane? It's hidden here between the Callsign and the Delta. So yeah, overflared a little bit. I was thinking of usually, I don't know, I was thinking of like keeping the nose gear up for a little bit longer, but it resulted in actually flaring a little bit too much, causing the aircraft to actually go back up again. And but the glide slope went quite okay, but it looked like the glide slope wants us to settle down a lot later than the touchdown zone. Maybe something's off. Usually it's probably just me, but it looked different than it usually does in the simulator. Not specifically for this airport, but just like in general on the ILS approach. But you know, there's always the human factor and the Arkady factor. Anyway, thank you very much for checking, everybody. And as I said, maybe later tonight we'll do some long haul sleeping sessions, but who knows? The night is too young. Thank you for checking, stay funky, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.